Hey, I'm Dave, and you're listening to another Podcastle. Joining me tonight is Tam,
Hey, hey.
JP,
Hey.
and Zach from
Hey.
Chainsaw.
Hi.
Good to have you on, Zach.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No worries. So this is our monthly podcast. We talk about last month's releases, how they went, whether we picked any up. Then we will go through a bit of news. We have the Nintendo Direct, so we obviously have to cover that. And then we'll get into March's releases. Just looking at that list that I've posted there for February, did you pick up any of those games?
I picked up Street Fighter V, Project X Zone 2, and Bravely Second.
Which of those have you been playing the most?
I've just started Bravely Second, and I've kind of got into it again, so as you do, and I really like Bravely Second probably the most.
As good as the
I was
original?
like, I can't say that yet. It's too early to make a judgment on that yet.
All right, cool. No worries.
The one I'm mostly disappointed with, though, is Street Fighter V. I really shouldn't have done my homework on that because there's no arcade mode in that. It seems to be more for the online. It seems to be more for the competitive scene than the actual those who just want to play the arcade modes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also I up, and I knew what I was getting into, or I thought I did, but the story mode, I heard there was a story mode, so I'm like, I can get by with that, right? And then it's literally like 2 fights or 3 fights per character, and the comms literally stand there and just take hits. It's just, it's so easy. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a story mode. I also picked it up, and like JP, I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just kind of wanted to play a Street Fighter, because I've never played a Street Fighter game before. And I'd heard all these things about, particularly from Henry, just saying they're doing something quite different for Street Fighter V than they've done previous games. You know, it's more welcoming for newer players. That encouraged me to get it. I did get it. I've had fun with the game from what I've played. There have been a lot of complaints, like JP said, about the lack of modes, and like Zach said, the story mode just isn't really a story mode. But they did really push this one out the door, didn't they? For was it Evo, or they had some? They had some big competitive tournament, and they just wanted Street Fighter V there, so they thought, yeah, we'll get this out the door, and then we'll update it later. I think we're getting an update this month, actually.
yeah, there's a big update that's meant to have single player content this month, which fingers crossed is decent.
Yeah.
And I think the goal was, I think the Capcom Pro series starts soon, and it's like they need it like at least a few months in advance of Evo so people can train and get used to it and whatever. So
yeah,
I mean, I think we can all hope it's going to be a Splatoon
How can people
situation.
train if there's no player versus CPU or anything like that?
Well, they'll go online, or they'll go to like local tournaments and stuff like. Yeah, I assume that's what they're expecting. And apparently it sold horrible as well, the game. I just heard, I think today, like, it's tanked in both Japan and I think Europe or the UK. We don't have numbers for Australia or US yet, but I bet it'll be a similar situation there.
Yeah.
Well, the beta was broken, wasn't it? Didn't they have to fix it?
Yeah, they did have problems, but they just sort of postponed it. They got it up. They got it running eventually, I think.
To be fair, a beta is meant to be like where you find those problems and solve them. I mean,
Exactly.
I still have connection errors, which is what annoys me. Like, I would have thought after months of beta testing, they'd sort of sorted that out. But it takes forever to find a match for me, and then like it can lag a bit. It's like, I don't know. The whole thing's disappointing at the moment.
Project X Zone 2. I like that game, but it's pretty much of the same thing right now.
But JP, you should love it. You get to see how Heihachi needs to get Phoenix right to be his lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Did you play the first Project X Zone?
I did, and I really liked it, despite everyone kept on complaining about the repetition and it's too long. I really like that, and I like the fact that all these characters come together. I just wish they wouldn't talk so much. I'd just say, okay, you're joining our team. You don't need to go on this big spill. Just join our team and come and fight with us and save the world. But there's like 10 minutes of talking before you actually start a chapter.
Yeah, I've just done like the first maybe 2 hours of the game, and it's pretty wordy, especially if you don't know all the characters. They're all making all these references that I'm like, I get like a third of them because the rest are obscure JRPGs I've never played. But still fun. Like, it's a good strategy RPG so far, I think.
Yeah.
Zach, was there anything else you picked up this month? You said you got Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, I played a couple of other things. Actually, today my review for Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth went up on Rocket Chainsaw, and that came out at the start of Feb. It's basically like it's a JRPG. It's very similar to a Persona game, particularly Persona 4. There's a lot of parallels between the two, and you collect Digimon, digivolve them. I think it's a good game, especially if you like Digimon as a kid. I haven't kept up with the franchise, but I still enjoyed it, like going back and getting an Agumon and that sort of stuff. And but it has a lot of like clunkiness, like a lot of JRPGs, which you'll either be able to ignore if you're a big JRPG player, or you'll just be like, I can't handle it, and stop after like 2 hours or something like that. So take it as you will. Also, as a tip, it's on Vita and PS4, but really it's just a Vita game, and it's your choice whether you want to play it on TV or on a Vita. And I don't know. With JRPGs, I like them on handhelds a lot better, so you can grind on the train or whatever. I played Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon for a bit. It's the same as the others. And that is about it, because I already talked about Project X Zone and Street Fighter. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I picked up three games last month, unfortunately, because my wallet is kind of sad at the moment. But yeah, it hates me. So I picked up XCOM 2, Bravely Second, as well as Legend of Legacy, and I've basically mainly played Legend of Legacy and XCOM 2. XCOM 2 is so far my favorite game of the year. I know it's only been 2 months now, but it's just an excellent game, and it just really built upon all the good things about the first game. I've almost finished it actually, and it's just a lot of fun. There's just a lot of variation in enemy types, different maps, because all the maps are randomly generated this time. So I was
going to ask, with the maps, do you even notice, like, do they feel a bit generic because they're randomly generated, or do they feel like designed?
They feel designed. That's a good thing, and because the good thing about it is that while they're randomly generated, they still are all coherent levels. Because the issue I had with the first game was that they weren't randomly generated, and there wasn't that much of a variety. So in the end, you started playing the same map over and over again. So that became a bit tedious. Whereas, like, of course, in this, there's some maps that are somewhat similar to other ones you've played, but they're all different. They all have different parts of them. Some maps are quite big, and you like never go to certain parts of the map. So sometimes that's a bit of an issue, but it's mostly a solid game with very good mechanics. So I would recommend anyone picking that up who's interested in it. Highly recommend it.
To be honest, it looks like there's a big learning curve to it. Did you find that, or have you found it quite easy to get into?
Well, to be fair, I played the original, so I didn't have too much of an issue with learning curve or anything. I don't think there really is a learning curve though, because the tutorial at the start is good. So, and it's really there is a lot of depth to the gameplay, but at the end of the day, it is pretty simple. It's not too complicated.
Okay.
Because there's basically two parts of the game. It's basically you control the squad, so it's all about the tactical side of it, and then there's also base building where you have to decide what you're going to research and build your base and that sort of thing, and you get different bonuses and things. So you have to kind of manage your resources and that sort of thing. So it's just it is a bit in depth, but it's not too daunting, I don't think. If you just put some time in, you can wrap your head around it all.
Yeah.
In Legend of Legacy, I'm really enjoying. I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm about three quarters through. I am going to write a review. I'm going to finish a review and put that up on the site. But it has really exceeded my expectations, because going into it, I've heard I did hear some mixed things about it, because it has been out in the US since last year, and basically the main criticism of it was that it had repetitive gameplay and that it doesn't have much of a story, which is true. My main criticism of Legend of Legacy is that it has a weak story. It's just that this island appeared called Avalon, and you basically go to this island to explore. There's not really much of a deep storyline about any deep storyline once you get there or what you do. It's mainly just fighting things, and it's basically just exploring, filling out maps, and then just fighting things into the game. So I'm a bit disappointed by that, especially since there actually is some very interesting and in-depth writing when it is there. So if they had fleshed that out, I think it would be a fantastic RPG. I like the battle system mechanics. It's a lot of fun, as well as the exploration is good. So I think it is still worth playing. My main issue with it though is everything's randomized in Legend of Legacy. So you just get it. You go into fights and you use your attacks, and you can randomly learn new attacks and different things like that. It's all random. So I don't really I'm not that big of a fan of the randomized element, especially since you can get different stances for the battle system. So when you enter a battle, you can like choose a defensive stance or an offensive stance. But the issue is apparently there's these advanced stances, but I haven't seen any of them because apparently you have to backtrack and go to maps you've already cleared to find them, and I still haven't yet to find them. So there's just some frustrations like that. There's a lot of frustrating elements to the game, but I still really enjoy it.
Sounds cool.
And Bravely Second, haven't played it yet, but I'm still sad over spending $170 on limited edition.
Yeah, I walked into JP the other day and I saw an unsold copy of the collector's edition and I bought it, and I haven't opened it yet. But I'm like, why did I do that? I don't understand.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it and then I got it home and I'm like, what did I do? What did you do, Brendan? What did you do?
Like when we all fell into the trap of getting Rodea.
Oh no! Don't bring that up again.
Oh. It's like $30 now as well.
I paid $70 for Rodea. What about you, Dave? What have you played in the previous month?
I picked up a couple games. Etrian Odyssey 2. Similar to what you were saying with XCOM 2, how you said it's just, it's not really a steep learning curve. It's just deep. There's a lot to get into. I'm having the same issue with Etrian Odyssey Untold 2 because I haven't played a game since the first one, and there's just quite a lot to learn. So I'm still getting my head around it all, but it does seem to be pretty solid. I can see what makes it original. I've also played Firewatch. I actually finished that in probably 2 sittings. I really enjoyed it. I'm interested to see what Richard says in his review in coming days. But yeah, no, that's quite a good game. I would recommend it to anyone that loves just a good little mystery game story. It's not too expensive for what it is. It's probably only 5 or 6 hours, depending on how you play it. Like, you might get 7 hours out of it. Some people have run through it in 3 or 4, I think. So, but that's a stupid way to play it. It's just it's a good exploration game.
Have you played a lot of those, like Gone Home and that kind of stuff, like similar titles, or is this my?
Yeah, no, I have. I would rate this a lot higher than Gone Home. I liked Gone Home at the time. I did. I since looked back on it and thought, well, it kind of was really lacking, and just those areas where it was lacking, basically from having any sort of gameplay, because Gone Home wasn't too much of a game. Yeah, Firewatch definitely did it a lot better with the exploration. There are some gameplay mechanics thrown into it, so it's good.
Might need to pick it up then.
What I found really interesting was just after finishing the game, I thought, have I missed something? I feel like I've missed something with it, and just going and reading everyone's theories about what there was deeper in the story was really fascinating, and also seeing all these ways people have approached the game. So with you being this sort of ranger, I guess, lookout person for fires in this forest out in the middle of nowhere, you have a compass, but you don't need to really use it. You can just sort of look where you are on the map and figure it out from there. But people have that there's an option that they added in the game that you can turn off being able to see yourself on the map, and then people actually have to use their compass, use the landmarks to try to figure out where they are, and makes it more of, it's more of a hike. You're really using your surroundings to work your way through the game. I think that's pretty cool.
Because I was actually reading through Richard's review, which is about to go up on the side of Firewatch.
Okay,
and one of his criticisms was that, I think regarding the story, he said that there's some vague plot point at the start of the game that becomes really important at the end of the game. Did you find things like that an issue, or?
No, I didn't. No, I would disagree. I think that there's almost like its own story at the start before you get into the game, and I think the way they did it was quite clever, and it is a focal point throughout the game.
Okay.
It'll touch on that throughout the game, though it does depend on your dialogue choices as well.
On a story level, do you prefer games like Firewatch or something more like Life is Strange, which is a bit more story driven? Well, not more story driven, but it's. I know they both focus on story.
I'd say
They
Life is
have
Strange
different
is more
approaches.
gameplay mechanics, maybe?
Yeah, Life is Strange has that great mechanic of rewinding, and let's keep the ball rolling. We'll split it up. We'll get some news in there, just a few bits and pieces of news that we've had throughout the last couple of weeks, and then we'll get into games that are coming out this month. The most obvious one to start with is the Nintendo Direct, which we had. How long ago was that? That wasn't long ago. Half a week, maybe.
3
Wasn't
or
it
so days
Friday?
ago? Yeah.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday.
That's quite a lot to go through. I'm just gonna quickly dot point things, and then if there's anything specific you really want to talk about, then we'll get to that. But what was previously Project Guard is now Starfox Guard, and that's sort of like its own little game that's being bundled with Star Fox Zero.
And I've already gone to pre-order it. Someone shoot.
It's going to be... that box art is worth the money alone. Slippy and Grippy, I mean, come on.
That's a
Grippy is
classic hero.
stupid.
Grippy, it's got such a good, name. It's the best name. You can tell, Slippy's the pathetic pilot that always screws up. Grippy, he's a man that knows what he's doing. He's had experience.
He
He's got a
doesn't know
handle
what
on
he's
things.
doing because he needs robots and cameras to
Oh.
check his mining operation.
No. Have you heard the story? IGN did an interview about the story. Grippy says he's mining stuff. He's not mining anything. He just tells everyone that. So the robots attack him. He breaks the robots and gets the minerals out of them. He's cunning. He is a cunning frog with a mustache.
This is my new favorite game. Thank you, Nintendo, for coming up with this storyline. This is brilliant. So the mining operation. The mining operation is destroying the robots. Yes.
The mining operation is just a front for his robot destroying activities. So good.
Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix, as it's called over here, because it's coming west this year. That looks interesting.
Yeah, I did you guys play much of the other Rhythm Heavens?
I've heard they're fun. I haven't played them, but it's more
definitely.
Yeah, same.
It's like WarioWare, right? Similar.
Yeah, but it's to a tune, I guess. I know. I definitely recommend because this one has the best, in theory, the best mini games from all the other entries. So if you're gonna check one out, I reckon this would be a good place to start.
We also got Kirby Planet Robobot, which I think is a dumb name. It's either a robot or it's a bot, not Robobot. What is a Robobot? Anyway, Kirby Planet Robobot, which looks like every other Kirby game ever, will come out 11th of June here in Australia. I'm being a bit harsh on it there. It actually did look pretty neat. I liked Kirby and the big mech and everything. We did get a new Kirby lineup of Amiibo, because you can never have too many Amiibo. Kirby, Meta Knight, King Dedede, and Waddle Dee. They all look pretty nice. I think I'll actually definitely get the Kirby one. That looks the nicest.
I think I'll get Waddle Dee just because I have the other characters in Smash form.
I've honestly just given up on Amiibos. I spent too much money on them. I instead pre-order things I don't need.
To be honest, the only Amiibos I'm getting now are the ones that are really special to me or that I really am going to use.
Yeah,
I've stopped collecting also.
Which is basically what we were meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Fates, JP would have been very happy to find out finally got its release date, but then he probably wouldn't have been too happy that it's as late as 21st of May. Which is around the same time.
How did you know?
Which is around the same time as Uncharted 4,
Yeah.
so JP's probably not happy about that either. But we're getting a special edition new 3DS XL. I think America got that as well, and now we're getting it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm tempted to go pre-order that as well.
You don't need it. Just get the special edition game. You don't need the DS.
I've pre-ordered the special edition game. I'm now tempted
I
to
need the
pre-order
DS.
I'm tempted to pre-order the 3DS as well.
In case you need more reason, to own a new 3DS, now Nintendo are making SNES games exclusive to new Nintendo 3DS. SNES games of all things. But I mean, it makes sense that they've talked about their issues with emulation before on 3DS, and it's good to see that they're doing it.
Yeah.
I think
I thought these games were already available on the 3DS though.
No, they weren't. They only had the ambassador games, and they didn't really run that well. They weren't proper virtual console releases.
It just feels weird that, like, couldn't they do, like, a crappy version for normal 3DS, and you just acknowledge the fact you're getting a less than perfect version, and then you have a 3DS that runs better, a new one, sorry? I don't know.
They aren't willing to do that, though.
I think that's what they usually do when they release games that do have new 3DS features, or it runs better on new 3DS. Nintendo don't mind announcing that. They're like, you know, but you can have a better experience on new 3DS. I think
it's not just an issue of running better. I think it's an issue that similarly why they don't have GBA games on 3DS Virtual Console is that there's issues with it being able to run in will basically run together with the 3DS OS. As you guys know, when you're playing GBA games on your 3DS, if you're an ambassador, you can't use most of the 3DS features.
True. I guess they don't want to like. I guess that makes sense. They want to keep it consistent. Like every game has those set of features or whatever. So.
They want every game to have save states and all that sort of stuff.
Except Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Nintendo would have been happy to put a lesser version on 3DS if it actually worked well enough on 3DS, and
cool.
They clearly don't. Paper Mario Color Splash was announced for Wii U, coming this year. Looks like Sticker Star. Paper Mario fans aren't happy. They've started a petition to get rid of the game. Nintendo fans, what is going on with Nintendo fans these days?
Aggressive.
They love it. They love petitions.
The petition for Metroid Federation Force, which we'll get to in a minute, was ridiculous. But for Color Splash, I mean, you're going to get more Paper Mario games. They've still been making Paper Mario games. The fact that they even made another one after Sticker Star, be happy you're still getting Paper Mario games. Metroid fans have gone how long without a main Metroid series game? It's like,
It doesn't look as bad as Sticker Star. Like, I watched like some analysis videos of it. The card mechanics seem like they might be a little less frustrating than the sticker mechanics. So fingers crossed. It could be better, like a lot better. Maybe not as good as Thousand Year Door, but still.
It's possible that they actually did have a good idea when they were doing Sticker Star, and they just didn't execute it properly, and that they may have cut corners and just decided, this will do, and now they've tried to fine tune, that formula and try to say, well, look, this is what we were trying to do with Sticker Star, and now on Wii U we have a chance to really make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still skeptical in the sense that I also did not. I don't know about you guys. I didn't like Sticker Star that much. I like all the other Paper Marios, including Super, but not Sticker Star.
Nobody really likes Sticker Star.
I didn't even really like Super Paper Mario either. But I think that was more of an issue. That was an expectations issue because I loved Thousand Year Door. It was one of my favorite GameCube games, and back in the day, I just bought games. I'm not looking into them, and I was like, Super Paper Mario. This is gonna be like Thousand Year Door, right? I'm gonna love this. And then I play it, and it was probably one of the biggest disappointments of the Wii generation for me.
Yeah, it's very
just like the writing for it's great, but it's just a platformer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter X is coming west as Monster Hunter Generations, and we knew that was coming. I think they actually did touch on the fact that there's a little Marth costume, I think. Is that right? Yep. Marth's armor? Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Generations is also a lot more action-y, is what I'm hearing. Like, it's less slow. I don't know. I'm not as into Monster Hunter, so I don't know, but...
Lost Reavers, previously known as Project Treasure, is a game that still exists. It is actually coming out. We can't believe it. It looks like the next Devil's Third. Lost Reavers open beta is coming on April 14th. The full version of the game will release April 28th, which of course we know is a free-to-play game.
I think we need to go back to the Skype chat day when the first thing I told you was, this looks like a free-to-play Devil's Third.
Yeah.
It does, and I think I'm going to play
Yeah.
this.
For free. May as well play it.
But
Yeah.
it's a co-op game, isn't it? 4-player
Yeah,
co-op.
it's co-op, and you're basically killing zombies from memory, so...
I think it's kind of dungeon crawler-esque in that you're going into like a tomb looking for treasure or something.
Yeah, because there's treasure and things, so you're right, it kind of is dungeon crawling. So it is completely different to Devil's Third. It just kind of, like, the graphics and the style of it actually looks like Devil's Third, strangely enough.
It's
very much like that.
It's Devil's Third meets generic dungeon crawler meets Tomb Raider meets Left 4 Dead.
Yep, pretty much. Actually, the first thing I want to know is, why are they making this?
I don't know. What did they get out of doing?
Because it's only on Wii U too. It's an exclusive.
It's a real mystery. And I don't think it uses the gamepad in any like meaningful way.
It's not on any other console unless they port it. So what are they doing?
It must be on the lowest budget ever, and it probably has a lot of microtransactions to make up for the fact that it's free to play. Try to make some money off of it. I just don't know. Yeah, how is this a thing? Free to play Wii U game. None of us can understand it.
Weird.
And finally, I may have missed some stuff, but I mean, we got to get through this podcast. Metroid Prime Federation Force, they tackled the petition in particular directly, and they had the creator of the Metroid series openly admit it was thrown around as an idea for a DSi game back in 2009. That sort of tells you this has been in development 6-7 years. That's probably not something Nintendo wanted to admit, but if you think about it, now that they've said, okay, this was a DSi game for 2009, Metroid fans would have jumped on another Hunters type co-op game back in 2009. Absolutely. They hadn't been waiting for a new game in the series. That was before Other M as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So Other M was the last game like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
2010, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've got another case of the Wind Waker where people just slam it, and then it turns out really good, and they start eating their words again.
Well, the thing about that though is I don't think you can compare it to Wind Waker, because even if you take out all the fanboyism and people, not being happy with it, not being a main series game, it doesn't stay true to the series at all. Wind Waker looked good, and this, like, I like to think it'll still be fun, but it doesn't look that great. The Bionicle Soldier generic characters, they do not interest anyone. I don't think anyone is a fan of that design. I think one of the biggest things going for Metroid Prime Hunters was that you had all these kick-ass, unique characters to play as, and they really defined the way you would play, because they all had their unique traits, and they admitted in this new trailer or the clip for Federation Force, the way you make these soldiers, the characters, unique is just by carrying more med packs, carrying more missiles. That's the only way you can make them unique.
It's just loadout differentiation.
So you're all just the same character, and that's just...
But yeah, if I was in charge of this game, I would have just made the characters the Marines from Other M, even though people hate Other M. Because then you would have been able to play as Anthony Higgs, and it would be the greatest game ever.
Remember me.
Okay.
Exactly, remember me. The thing is, if they had done that, this would be the greatest game in existence.
We were talking about how it's apparently been in development for 9 years or whatever it is. They really should have just said, okay, let's just sit on this. Oh, 7 years, sorry. Sit on this until there's another Metroid game to release alongside it. Because, like, that's the backlash, right? It's not that this is, like, a spin-off that looks weird. It's a spin-off that looks weird 5 years since the last main game, and the last main game that most people hated. So it's just the worst timing for a game like this. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, the most
we do.
easy to say title.
I kind of
about the Fire Emblem.
kind of purposely skipped that, but anyway.
I'm looking really forward to that, actually.
It doesn't look that bad, but
Because the thing is, the reception it's got in Japan has actually been really positive. Like, no one bought it, but from what people have said that have played it, apparently it's actually a decent game.
The reviews are good, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. JP, Uncharted 4 got delayed. How do you feel? I mean, it's only 2 weeks, but I mean, another delay for Uncharted.
I was kind of expecting it, to be honest. And I'm not that fussed entirely. I mean, Uncharted is just a game I'm waiting for. It's not really my most anticipated. I just want to play it.
Did you play some of the multi-beta
Yeah.
this weekend?
No, I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I've had a very busy week, last couple of weeks ahead of me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's gone now. It ended around.
I don't
7.
play Uncharted for the multiplayer, to be honest. I
Ne-
mainly just
neither-
play the action game. I barely ever go on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, neither have I. I'm the same, but yeah, I really enjoyed what I played of the Uncharted 4 multi-beta.
Okay.
They've really mixed it up a bit more. It's as fun as Uncharted 2 multiplayer was. Everybody loved Uncharted 2 multiplayer, and the single player, of course. It's just the complete package, and I think they lost a bit of it with Uncharted 3 multi, but good signs so far. No Man's Sky got a release date. That's coming. Shit, I've lost it. It's June something.
I think it's June 22nd from memory, but I could be off.
Thank you, Zach. I think that's right. Yep.
Mhm.
So I'm looking very forward to that. Except I'm pretty sure at the start of last year we had No Man's Sky slated for a June release, and then it got pushed back and pushed back. So I'm skeptical. I don't know whether it's actually going to come out in June. It might get delayed again. But I mean, I'd love to play it in June. I've got nothing else coming out in June.
It's a good summer game because there's not much usually, winter I guess for us, but there's not a lot out in that sort of middle of the year time frame, and it's hopefully a big time sink. Like it seems like it should be a game you could put dozens of hours in.
Yeah.
Exploring and having fun.
Pokemon Go, the GDC conference got cancelled, which people started getting immediately worried. Oh no, what's going on? What's happening with Pokemon Go? Are things not going according to plan, or is the game actually getting cancelled? But there is a beta, which Zach just told me about, that is happening in Japan shortly. So, no reason to worry. I'm sure Pokemon Go is still on track to release this year for the 20th anniversary, which we're all looking forward to playing, except maybe JP, 'cause it's not too much of a Poke fan.
More and more people are talking about Pokemon at TAFE. It's getting harder and harder not to be on the same wavelength.
I think if you're going to any secondary education or tertiary education, everyone around our age likes Pokemon. It seems like you're going to find heaps, so it's hard not to.
Psyonix and Twitch have announced a Rocket League Championship series. Can't even say the word. So they're making it a big esport. From the moment this game was released, I think everyone sort of knew this was going to be the next big esport. I think it's 75k in prizes up for grabs. It's only for America and Europe announced so far. Hopefully they announce it for Australia as well, so that we're not just those laggy people pretending to be Europeans, because that would not be too fun. But they're not taking sign-ups yet, so I'll be looking out for when they do take sign-ups.
No offense to Australia, but do we even have a Rocket League fan base yet?
Yeah.
Of course.
We have a
It's
massive
huge.
Rocket League fan base for
How big is it right now?
It would have to be the third biggest.
It's hard. I don't even know how big a fan base
Seriously,
any
don't
game
think
has in
we
any
have-
country. But
What?
Seriously, don't think we had a big enough install base for Rocket League yet.
Rocket
Okay.
League.
I don't know. Australians are really into these we like sports games, we like soccer, and this is just it's pure fun. I'm not even that big of a sports game person, but I enjoy Rocket League when I play it, and I'd be surprised if it hasn't sold. It was on PS Plus free as well. So most
Yeah, the install base is definitely there. JP, Rocket League absolutely
Don't get
took
me
off.
wrong. I'm not dissing it.
Oh
it.
yeah, no, I'm just telling you, it did absolutely take off. That don't worry that there is an install base. All right, EA, Activision, Disney, and Wargaming have all dropped out of E3, and although some of those may not really have too much of a presence at E3, they do seem to take up a lot of room. Activision in particular, I think, and EA, and it's that's taking away those is going to take away from the experience of any people that do go to E3. And
But the thing with Activision is that they've always really just shown games at like other people's booths, like Microsoft and Sony. They've never really done they've never done their own press conference, of course.
Yeah,
And
so this year they're just dissolving, and PlayStation's going to show off probably the next Call of Duty
or whatever,
and maybe some what's it called, Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say no EA as well?
No, EA is the weirdest one because they've
Because they have a conference every year.
Yep. EA I think are still doing a conference.
Well, it's the loss of the.
I think EA are still doing a conference. Their presence on the E3 show floor has just been picked up and moved across the road.
Okay. So they're kind of still there.
They're kind of still there, but they're just doing it different. Like, the press conference is on Sunday now before Bethesda, so I think it should be the first press conference.
Because you're actually going over, aren't you, Zach?
I am going to E3. I would say I'd be disappointed, but I'm going to sound really bad, but I'm not a massive EA guy. I'm not a massive Activision guy. Maybe Disney. They might put out something I like.
Disney won't, though. They just do Infinity. Disney not being there is not an issue, because all they do is Infinity and license out Star Wars to EA. They don't do anything else gaming.
I think they said this year they're not doing a new Disney Infinity. They're just going to do like expansions to the latest one, which I guess means why go to E3, because the game's already out, sort of thing.
And that actually makes sense for the model of Disney Infinity. I think they're at the point where they can just do expansions. Cheaper from them, and they make money.
But that's said. I think you're right. EA's already there, so I'll still get to play the stuff there. Hopefully, and they have a new Plants vs Zombies. I'm all for that.
And not to mention, I know Wargaming has a massive online supporter base, but does anyone really care if they have E3 or not?
I don't know. Like, when I'm at PAX, I can't tell if people care or whether they're because I'm not into World of Tanks, but I hear it's very big. But I also don't know anyone that's into World of Tanks other than one person in my friendship base, I think. But apparently it's massive.
Anytime I went past that booth, it is quite a big booth that they've got Wargaming for World of Tanks. It was just one enthusiastic guy on a microphone trying to get people excited about World of Tanks, and nobody really seemed that interested.
Well, that's the thing. With PAX, sometimes I feel like people are getting excited for free T-shirts for stuff they don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Just hear free stuff and they jump up and down, and that's it.
I really don't care about EA anymore. They broke my heart. What they
broke your heart and crushed it.
SimCity,
SimCity doesn't matter anymore because we have City Skylines, which is a superior game. Thank you, Paradox. Thing is, I'm happy they still have their conference though, because I will always remember that 2014 one we sat through when they had the golf trailer when they were sinking battleships with golf balls, and then they had the trailer for their NHL hockey game, and it just had this really weird music, and there was people dance. It's like this classical. It was this trailer with classical music, and they just had hockey players pirouetting it and things. It was really bizarre.
That was brilliant. Did they ever release that golf game? I really wanted to sink battleships with golf balls.
I assume it came out, Dave. But
I don't think it did. I don't think it did, man.
Oh. What was the game called? I can't even remember.
It's just one of their rebranded Tiger Woods golf games.
Was it Tiger Woods?
No, they don't call it Tiger Woods anymore because they don't like Tiger Woods.
They've got a new name now.
Tiger Woods game.
Because Tiger Woods is disgraced now. So
I'm happy EA's at least sticking around, and hopefully we get to see another gem like Unravel get some time in their conference.
True, Unravel.
Oh yeah, they did. Okay, yeah.
Have you guys played Unravel? That came out last month.
I still haven't played it yet. I really do want to play it though.
Okay. Yeah, I said it's good, but by that I mean it looks good because I just haven't had time.
Alright guys, let's get into March releases. Twilight Princess HD, The Division, Stellar Glow, Pokken Tournament, Hyrule Warriors Legends, Mortal Kombat XL, Hitman, Miitomo, and apparently a rumored Twilight Princess P-Cross. I don't know whether that's confirmed yet. Actually, do you want to touch on that one, Zach?
I will. So on the NeoGAF forum, some data miners, I believe, hacked into the eShop, similar to how Twilight Princess HD was leaked a few months ago, and found screenshots for Twilight Princess Picross, and at the top it says My Nintendo. They look very like legitimate, so I don't think it's fake. And typically NeoGAF has a pretty like solid system for like they delete threads if the moderators think it's a fake rumor. So it seems pretty legit, and it's in line, I guess, with what Nintendo was saying about their new reward system. It's giving out some cool stuff like free games. So
Yeah.
I don't know, could be exciting.
So has
Or boring.
everyone registered now for My Nintendo and Miitomo?
I've registered for my Nintendo. I don't think I've registered for Miitomo though.
Oh, could we register for it? I can't actually remember.
Yeah, if you pre-register for Miitomo, you get apparently some platinum points for my Nintendo and an extra costume or something. I don't know, but I mean, it's like takes like 2 seconds to.
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna go do that now.
I think I did.
Okay. Oh shit, I forgot.
It's
And
not.
that-
You can do it now.
That's this month, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we're getting both of those.
It's apparently Japan about mid-March, and then the rest of the world late March. And my Nintendo is going to launch at the same time, which is, I guess, probably when this Picross game will launch, if it's real. It's weird that they didn't talk about it at the direct if it is real, though. Like, you would have thought that could have been like a quick announcement. Like, 'cause they talked about Miitomo for about a minute. Just should have thrown that in there as well. I don't know.
Yeah, so sometimes I don't know, with little games like that, they generally do a bit better if they're just like a surprise thing. Oh, cool, we get this. Let's get that. Let's play that.
True.
But they've clearly gone Twilight Princess Picross just because Twilight Princess HD has released this month. They want to
I'm going to throw it out here.
help that along.
If they stop doing Street Pass puzzles and do like themed Picross every time a new game comes out, I will take that.
Yeah,
I
every
will
time.
because Picross is God's gift. If anyone has not played Picross, I need to go play Picross.
I've never played Picross.
Because basically my life in the last week has been consumed by Pokemon Picross. I play it once a day, so I get my free play session of it. Because I refuse to spend money on it, but it's so good. It's such a satisfying game.
Okay, so speaking of Twilight Princess HD released Saturday.
Yep. And I think at least 3 of us have picked it up, haven't they? Because I know Zach has.
Yes,
Yeah, I did.
And I have. Yeah.
I didn't get it.
and I have.
I actually sold my copy of Twilight Princess Wii today to a mate, so
Wow.
Yeah.
Going all in on the HD version.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait and hope that it drops in price. I'm not actually too interested in the Wolf Link amiibo anymore after seeing it, and I've heard there's a lot of things they didn't really fix, and you know that there were problems with Twilight Princess, and they should have made a lot more
Yeah, I would
changes.
say
I think the thing I'm happy with about Twilight Princess HD is I think people are replaying it and finally realizing that Twilight Princess was actually not that great of a Zelda game. Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and I'd argue Skyward Sword are better than Twilight Princess. That's my argument.
I still love Twilight Princess. But
Yeah.
I only played it through once, and I didn't go back to it. And
Oh.
I think
other
like,
Zelda games I've gone back to for another playthrough. Although maybe
think-
part of the reason was that Twilight Princess didn't have a hard mode, did it? Now it does.
it
Yeah.
does now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I was gonna say, I think with Zelda games and any series that has overall really good games, people sort of tend to get really extreme hate for like the least good. But like, and I agree with Tam. I think Twilight Princess is my least favorite 3D Zelda. But having playing it again now, it's still like a really good game compared to most other games that are out there. I still think like it's flawed, but I still really enjoy my time with it.
So what improvements have they made in particular? Like the controls
don't
are
know.
better, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't know if they made
Yeah.
any improvements really. If I'm being honest, it seems very similar.
Ouch. There's a HD improvement.
It does look a bit better, I guess. Other than that, like,
Yeah.
man, I'm only up to the second dungeon, so maybe I haven't noticed anything. But yeah,
I just like playing Twilight Princess, and I like the story behind it. I think Midna is the best guide to Link ever.
I
I
think
think
Midna is a good
I
guide.
agree with that. Min is the best support character.
I like
Yeah.
Fee.
no, no,
No.
Unlike the entirety of
B had a good song, and that was it.
unlike the entirety of the internet, I didn't find her annoying. Like I didn't find all the hints annoying. I just like clicked through it and kept on playing because I just enjoyed the gameplay so much. So I like basically just ignored it all and was fine. And like all the people that seemed to rage about it and saying, "Oh, she's so annoying. She's telling me what a blue rupee is after I've already picked up 100,000 of them. What is she doing? I want to kill her." I'm like, "Oh, whatever."
She
Thanks,
wasn't
V.
she wasn't terrible, but we got her after getting Midna,
To be
and
honest,
Midna was
theme song.
Yeah, I'm being facetious. I do agree because Midna's the only guide character they've actually really fleshed out.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'll take that back. My favorite guide is the boat from Wind Waker because it's a boat. He's a boat.
Yeah, that was a pretty good.
Come on, you can't get better than that, Dave.
Yeah.
Try to deny it. Try to argue it. No, you can't. Boat.
Alright, let's keep going on with March's releases. The Division comes out tomorrow. I played the beta of that. Probably won't pick it up day one. I actually want to see just because with those online only games, I'm very wary of issues that lots of games have at launch that are on
But based on
only
the
these
beta,
days.
you do want to play it though? Like,
Oh yeah, I do
assuming
want to play it based on the beta. I enjoyed what I played in the beta. I'm interested to play more. It's just whether I want to get into it straight away. Maybe wait for, if it's doing well enough in the first 2 weeks, not too many issues with servers and things like that. Everyone seems to be enjoying it. I'm gonna hop in because it's an MMO. I think you kind of have to take that sort of stuff into consideration.
Definitely, and I'm taking the view that I'd really only play it if I have a group of friends I can play it with, because I think that's the most fun.
Yeah,
that's the most enjoyment you'll reap from it. Whereas I'm kind of over playing online games and MMOs with just strangers, because I did used to do that quite a bit, and it's just lost the magic for me. Because I realize most people on the internet are just annoying, and they'll just insult you. So I don't want to do that.
Stellar Glow. I don't know what that is. Tam?
Basically, it's a strategy RPG published by Atlas. It's coming out this month. I'll probably pick it up because I do love that sort of. I do love the genre, and I'm always looking for new 3DS games to play. So I'll check back with you guys on how it is.
Being an Atlas game, has it taken a year to be localized?
Not a year, but it has taken a couple of months.
Yeah.
I think they'll never be as bad as Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Speaking of Shin Megami Tensei, as we spoke about before, the SMT FE crossover game, which is called Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Tokyo Mirage Sessions backwards, that's SMT.
Yeah. So that's why they did it.
So that's on purpose, isn't it? Clearly.
It is, because it's not called that in Japan. It's not called Tokyo Mirage Session in Japan.
Did you know that the FE are the first 2 letters of Fire Emblem?
Zach, I'm gonna kick you out.
bloody Zach. Okay, Pokken Tournament. Zach, you'll be actually very helpful for this discussion. Pokken Tournament is coming out this month. I'm planning on getting it. I've even pre-ordered the controller. God knows why. I'm just curious. I want to try this cool little controller. Zach, you got to talk to... Who did you get to talk to?
Well, if by talk to you mean awkwardly hug Harada, who's the producer of Tekken and Pokken.
Yeah.
Pokken. Because I was at last year about this time. I think I was at an expo called JPO in Tokyo, which is basically like E3 for only arcade games. So it's all like the new arcade games coming out for that year.
Okay.
And they had Pokken there for the first time, and he was there wearing a Pikachu suit. We didn't understand each other, so talk is maybe a generous term. But I did play the game, and it's good. I'd say it's very much like Smash Brothers in the sense that like it simplifies fighting games, in that you can. It's like there's no like quarter circles or any of that. It's all like side B or AB or whatever to do like the moves. But it's obviously a 3D fighting game like Tekken, so you can move around the arena and have a bit more freedom in that regard. It could be like. Because it's also interesting because it'll be in EVO this year, so which is a big fighting game tournament in the US, so it might have a competitive scene. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm picking it up for sure. I don't know. Do you have any characters you guys are excited to play as or anything like that?
I want to know how Chandelure plays, because that seems like the weirdest addition.
It is.
Gengar seems to be the best character from what I've heard, what I've seen.
I'm actually interested in this game. It's weird. It's the first Pokemon game I've actually really hyped for.
Well, that's because you love your Street Fighter and all those 2D fighting games, so
I love my fighting games.
makes sense that you would like
I'm
this.
really curious how this one will turn out because I never picked this in a million years. So
Yeah, it is a weird. It's one of the strangest crossovers. Actually, no, the strangest Pokemon crossover was Pokemon Conquest. Actually,
Yeah.
when you had Japanese feudal warlords having Pokemon, that was the weirdest one.
Have any of you played the Naruto games or any of those jump fighting games that are in like 3D spaces by any chance? Or like Dragon Ball Z? Those games are by far the most similar to Pokken. Like, a lot of people will go in expecting it to play like Tekken, which it doesn't really. It's more about like having this arena and like you got pretty decent movement so you can sort of jump over. Like, say if Pikachu shoots a lightning bolt and you're, I know, Lucario, you could probably jump over or run around the lightning bolt and then go smack Pikachu in the back. So,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Hyrule Warriors Legends.
I'm tempted because I still haven't played. I never picked up the Wii U version, but I feel like if I'm gonna play Hyrule Warriors, I may as well just go buy the Wii U version. But my only problem is the Wii U version might not have the might not be able to get Tetra and the boat, and I want to play as the boat.
Yeah,
So
no,
I might have to just buy the 3DS version to get the boat.
You have to get the 3DS version and then you can transfer them over. And what's more is now they've announced a season pass for Legends as well. So the
Is that so that's different DLC, okay.
different DLC.
Yep.
But the Legends actually doesn't it have the DLC of so it has
Yeah, so it's kind of like Game of the Year edition, but I guess with worse graphics and on a portable. I don't know. It's weird.
It's really weird.
I actually thought they said the graphics were quite good. I
They're
don't know.
good, but like they're not as good as the Wii U one. I just mean worse in comparison.
Okay.
I don't know if they've addressed this yet, but I feel like this
I
is one of the games that will run better on a new 3DS.
Well, have anyone tried the demo? Because that's now live on
Nope.
the eShop.
Tried it.
Again, from what I've watched some comparison
really?
videos, it runs horrible on regular 3DS, and it runs pretty good on new 3DS.
Yeah,
so.
I think it is more of a new 3DS game, and I think that's just from the nature of the game because you do have to have a lot of units on the screen at the same time. Because I do have Samurai Chronicles or Warriors on 3DS, which is a similar type of game, and that doesn't have many enemies on the screen at all at the same time because there is that limitation.
Surprised they tried to put it on new 3DS. I really thought it was more of a console game. I don't understand the.
Well, probably because they just want to make more money.
The only thing that doesn't really work is that they went from Wii U and then made a Game of the Year edition for handheld, and it should have been the other way around. If they made it for 3DS, had a season pass, then the Game of the Year edition comes out for Wii U with even more, like another season pass for that.
No, you're right. That would make more sense than what they're doing now.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That said, I would say, I don't know, have you guys played many of the Warriors games, like Dynasty Warriors and stuff?
Not really.
Not really.
They get pretty
I really
repetitive.
want to get into them.
They're good, but they get super repetitive,
Well-
and that might work better on a handheld, just because you're like more willing to put up with stuff like that. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but
Well, that's why I didn't buy Hyrule Warriors yet, because I do find the gameplay a bit repetitive. So
Yeah.
I know some people say Hyrule Warriors is a bit different, but I think it's still an issue. Though actually, I think Dragon Quest Heroes actually is supposed to be very good.
yeah, I played that to review it last year, and I'm not a Dragon Quest player, and I played a few like Warriors games, and I actually really like that. It's less repetitive because the missions are like way shorter.
It's
And,
more RPG like, isn't it?
Yeah, it's way more RPG like, but it's got like it's action, which is good, and the boss fights actually change up the gameplay a lot. Like they're pretty different, and there's heaps of like little optional like mini games and stuff. It's really worth giving it a shot because I think it's really cheap now, like $30, because most places are getting rid of it because it didn't sell very well. So if you get a chance for PS4,
and because there's a sequel on the way, right, for Dragon Quest Heroes?
yeah, I think it's coming out in Japan at the end of the year or something, or this year at least, and then we'll probably get it a few months later or something.
Mortal Kombat is getting an XL version, basically a Game of the Year edition this month, which is just Mortal Kombat with all the DLC. I don't think they've made any other changes to it.
Yeah, I've checked it out. No.
Are you a bit salty
Well, I
about
haven't
this?
bought it or anything, but I've read up on it. I think Mortal Kombat has a very good fighting system, but other than that, I've been disappointed by everything else about it.
Oh, I mean, like, what do you think about them doing a Game of the Year edition for this? You know, you went and bought all this DLC, and now it's all just bundled together.
I just see it as another complete edition like MK9.
I'd
Yeah.
be more willing to jump into an XL version of Mortal Kombat because I didn't pick it up on release, but I was thinking about it just because I wanted to try Mortal Kombat. But I would only really be interested in paying the extra for this more complete version if the game had actually expanded over the last year, and it doesn't really seem like it has. There's no new modes, no new anything really apart from the characters you can play as, and it seems more like they're taking a Smash Bros approach with it, and even Smash Bros
Actually,
had more new arenas and new modes to play. Lots of new features
I
got
don't
added
wanna-
to Smash along the way.
they have 3 different fighting styles for each character, so that's new.
No, what I mean is over the last year.
Yeah, nothing's really new over the last year except characters and skins.
Yeah.
And a few fatalities here and there.
I think I'm looking at a list on Mortal Kombat Wikia, so
Yeah.
it might be a bit biased, but I think it says it added a bunch of stages as well. Looks like about 12 stages or something. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's probably
16 stages.
Yeah.
I sold it.
probably like one
Wow.
for each character or something. Maybe, maybe a
Well,
few.
some of them seem like they're character related, and others just seem like the training room is now a stage. So I guess they just now let you play in the training room. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just the stages normally, and I'm reading this wrong. I might be. This wiki is poorly formatted. No offense.
Don't trust wiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do it, Zach.
Last game of March is Hitman. I haven't really followed this at all, but from what I've heard,
Is it based on the recent movie?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but are you just joking with me?
I'm joking.
Okay, from what I've heard, this one is more true to what Hitman fans want out of a Hitman game, and it just seems to do everything right so far. That I think they did have a closed beta not that long ago, and they had another beta this weekend, which I didn't get a chance to check out. I was too busy playing Uncharted 4, but I think I might just keep an eye on this one and just see how it goes, because
A wait and see approach makes sense given it's episodic as well. Like you can just buy it when it's finished, I
That's
guess,
true.
or complete.
I like jumping in for an episodic series though at the start of it, and then waiting for the next episode. And sometimes the wait kind of adds to the experience. I don't know whether that's just me. I'm sure there's other
It
people
does.
out there. You know, you're really excited to know what happens next, and you finally get to play the next episode. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of shit thrown at episodic releases, but
But you really enjoyed Life is Strange and that episode.
I did, yeah, and the Telltale games as well. So yeah, I mean it's obviously not for everyone, but I think that's
Plus, I guess
I think
because
that's
Square Enix published Life is Strange, so you would hope that means they know how to do episodic right if they're going to try it with a big franchise like Hitman.
All right, time to wrap it up, Mr. Dave.
Yep, nothing else you guys wanted to add before we finish up?
Buy XCOM 2. Go play it. Just do it.
That's your review right there. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Buy
Yeah, I don't
XCOM.
need to review it because it'd just be like 50 lines of me saying go buy this game.
Let's just end with this. This could be an interesting way to end our monthly podcast. Recommend one game to pick up this month. Tam's already said XCOM 2.
Okay, I'm going to recommend a weird one. But if you have a phone, which I hope most of you do, or a PC, I just played this weird mobile game called Duet, which is actually an Australian-made game, and it's free on Android, and it's really good. Like, it's really good.
Okay.
It's kind of like look it up, DUET. Just give it a shot.
JP, what would you recommend?
Okay, I want to recommend Bravely Second because it doesn't get as much love as Zelda.
Oh.
So
What about you, Dave?
recommend pick up Bravely Second.
Mr. Dave.
I don't know. I didn't think about it too much before suggesting it as a way to end the podcast. Out of that list, I'll just use the ones in that list. If you're interested the slightest in the division, just keep an eye on it, just like I am, and see how it goes online, and probably pick it up this month so you can play it with me. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in for this podcast. Hope to have you on next month. And
Bye.
Thanks for having us. It was fun.
No worries. Okay. See you guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.
You can't steal Tab's goodbye.
Bye. I feel like I need to learn another language just to say.
Oh,
goodbye.
that's
I
just
didn't
my,
exactly say it like Tab.
that's just my thing. I
So
do.
does it still count?
I'm going to start looking up goodbye in different languages just so I can have a better goodbye than Tam.
Oh, fine. Well, this is on. I'll have to do the same. So it's a race to the bottom.